Time now for your forewarned weather with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy.
All right, Alana, well, we hope for clearer skies, and it sounds like maybe we had like a touch of clearer skies today.
Breathing a little easier in some counties this evening, Lindsay, which we absolutely love, but the inversion layer isn't gone. You can see it from our ABC4 Ensign Peak camera. We're just not dealing with that elevated particulate matter. It's still out there, clearly visible to the eye, but I want to show you peak particulate matter since the end of last week, because we looked at that and it put us in the unhealthy for sensitive groups Thursday and Friday of last week. Then we talked about the potential of that northwest flow ventilating some of our valleys, cooler air moving in aloft and helping with the inversion layer, and we did see that through the weekend, and that includes today, where peak particulate matter has landed us in the moderate category. That, my friends, is progress, especially with a lackluster storm track. The inversion level closer to the valley floors today, with that cooler air kind of leveling out the warmer air that was trapping inversion. As we head into tomorrow, we do have elevated particulate matter still in the cards. Moderate air expected along the Wasatch Front for Wasatch County and the northwestern corner of the state. Meanwhile, we see some green in places like Castle Country, Duchesne, Uintah County, and down south, breathing a little easier in those locations as the warmth from the high pressure catapults temperatures a bit. We've seen that since last week. Live view right now from our Black Desert Sky Cam, 64 at last check. Yeah, that's warm. That's 10 degrees warmer than St. George typically sees this time of year. High pressure has been in control and continues that way. 30s and 40s. It's 39 in Salt Lake. That is the average high for this time of year. So we've just hit it. We were above it. 30s, 40s, and 50s with a buffet on the eastern side of the state. 61 right now in St. George. Are you headed out for MLK Day events? Well, tonight you're going to want to bundle up because we have those freezing temperatures setting their sights on the Beehive State and the Wasatch Front by 8 p.m. By ABC4 News at 10, upper 20s expected. We're dry. So dry. And I wish I could tell you something different. As we look at the satellite radar, you see high pressure with our northerly flow. We crunch the numbers, and this is the least snowiest season in Salt Lake City that we've ever had, only sitting at a 10th right now. If we close out the winter that way, we'll hold that record. 1937 to 38, we picked up 1.4 inches of snow. That seems like a dream at this point. Not great news. Very, very dry. And this isn't great news either. We're watching our snow water equivalent, but with high pressure, quiet conditions, and warmth, we actually dropped since the end of last week, where we were sitting at 5 inches of SWE. Now we're down to 4.9. That matters. Snowpack throughout the state, only 64% of average. You see a lot of red and orange on this map, and we don't love that as we're getting towards late January. These are our colder months, and the storm track just not present. As we look at the upper level future cast, we've got that high pressure. The positioning of the ridge greatly impacts us. We will see inversion conditions possibly getting worse here as we trek through the midweek. There's a chance we start to clear a little bit with some mixing winds. We're watching that cutoff low, see what it does. A lot of the weather models don't agree just yet. We were hoping for moisture. Does not look likely in northern Utah. Maybe that cutoff low meandering through the desert southwest will do us a favor, but at this point, quiet and dry, possibly through the end of the month. Is what I say to that. 40s for tomorrow with hazy sunshine. We'll see 40s on the eastern side of the state, 50s, upper 50s in St. George. Looking at the next 7 days in Washington County, quiet conditions with above average temperatures, a little more cloud cover possible into Friday depending on the track of that low, which is a little tricky at this point. And then we look at the Wasatch Front where you've got 40s and hazy conditions, possibly some mixing to clear or ventilate the haze as we get into the weekend. We saw that last week, and there's potential, but I do not see wet weather. I went slight chance on Saturday for my sanity, but I just feel like right now the storms are not aligning to impact us. Very, very low snowfall numbers. I mean, that's a horrible record to lead.
Yeah, that is rough. I just appreciate your optimism. Like, you're really bringing it for us.
Really, it's been months, friends. I am continuing on the optimism train. We still have plenty of winter left. I don't sleep on February and March in Utah. You shouldn't either. So
fingers crossed. We're going to get